When we say the Republican Party is the only party that has any chance at fixing health care for the American people, we've demonstrated it.
They're demanding $1.5 trillion in taxpayer money to fund health care for illegal aliens and other liberal causes.
They do love socialism, my friends. They love Mondami. He wants government to take over everything.
We're back debunking MAGA Mike Johnson as he tries to push blame for this Trump-led, MAGA-led government shutdown onto anyone except for Republicans. So if you can, leave us a like on the video. It helps us out a ton, gives us a boost in the algorithm, and let's get right to the breakdown with some fact checks ready.
When we say the Republican Party is the only party that has any chance at fixing health care for the American people, we've demonstrated it. We put it into the One Big Beautiful Bill, the Working Families Tax Cut. As you know, we strengthened the Medicaid program. We started there because it was the lowest hanging fruit. Why? Because the fraud is so glaring. And we eliminated the fraud. We got ineligible recipients off of Medicaid. We preserved it for the people who rely upon it and need it the most. Young pregnant women, the elderly, disabled, for example. We got able-bodied young men without dependents off the program. And what we did was we strengthened it.
These people think you're stupid. Republicans cut Medicaid. They're refusing to extend ACA subsidies, which will cause your premium costs to go up. In what way does any of this fix healthcare? We've already talked about how taking less people off of healthcare makes a smaller pool, means less money to go around for everyone in the pool. Most people on Medicaid also work or are looking for work or have some situation that prevents them from it, being a caregiver, being a student, and a mom, something of the sort. They're also limiting payments to providers. This will increase costs for those who keep their Medicaid coverage, who have not ever experienced out-of-pocket costs before. And these cuts will definitely decimate hundreds of rural hospitals. Guys, almost 50% of the births in this country are funded by the program that the pro-life party is now slashing to a historic level. These clowns don't even have concepts of a plan to replace it. They're just a wrecking ball for public goods.
We know we're going to have to arm wrestle with Democrats over that. Why? Because many of them are avowed to get us to a single-payer system. They do love socialism, my friends. They love Mondami. He wants government to take over everything. They're on board with that program. They think the government can do a better job by taking over health care. We believe in the private sector and the free market and individual providers, their acumen. And we say that if you take the government off their backs and allow for real competition again in healthcare, you will improve its quality and you will bring down its cost.
Here's why this is really stupid and disingenuous. What we're arguing over isn't healthcare itself, but how to structure the healthcare payment system. Government has the same control over healthcare in a single payer system as they do in what Mike Johnson is saying. Nobody wants the government to control doctors. We want the government to control the structure of the healthcare payment system because we want everyone to be insured. And because having one large pool means more money for everyone in the pool than they would have under these separate smaller pools in a private system. As well as one big buyer turns big pharma's monopoly into a monopsony. There's literally endless reasons why single payer is clearly the more efficient choice. The government would have negotiating power on prices. This is why every developed country with the single payer system pays less than us for the same medicines. These clowns know this, but it's scarier if they make you think it'll be like government-run hospitals or something just because everyone is insured.
They're demanding $1.5 trillion in taxpayer money to fund health care for illegal aliens and other liberal causes. Their spin is fact-free. They want to subsidize their broken, fraudulent, and unaffordable healthcare system, where premiums have increased by 80% since 2014, and those are the enormous costs that are borne on the shoulders of small businesses.
I just had to include this clip to really explain how dumb their position is. Obamacare, in terms of what they're talking about, it does more than just this, but essentially in this conversation, Obamacare subsidizes these private insurers to get them to insure people who they otherwise wouldn't by artificially inflating their pool. That way, these companies can do so and keep their bottom line. The reason premiums are still going up despite this is because Obamacare doesn't address the root problem in which makes premiums go up. It just ensures more people can be covered under them. What makes these premiums go up is the existence of a market in something that is a necessity, which only a single payer plan removes, right? So private insurers are raising their prices to outdo inflation, to compete with the rising big pharma costs and keep their bottom line the same. And this is something that will inevitably always happen as long as the profit motive is there. What these people are arguing for is more of that. All they want to do is do away with these subsidies. So if you're asking how that would fix anything, well, it wouldn't. You've realized the issue. They're lying. Because removing these subsidies just means less spending burden for the government, which then allows for more revenue cuts, aka tax cuts. That's the reason they want to do this.